I'm Victoria, and this is Chaos, Clarity, and Confidence. If you're navigating midlife feeling like you've lost yourself somewhere between the hormones, the hustle, and the who am I anyway, you are in the right place. Here we talk about what's really going on. Nervous system stuff, chaos stuff, hormone stuff, healing old stories kind of stuff. Finding your way back to you without the pressure to have it all figured out. So take a deep breath, maybe pour a cup of tea, and let's have the kind of conversation your soul has been craving. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chaos, Clarity, and Confidence, Finding You Again. I am your host, Victoria, and today's conversation is one that I honestly know that so many of you are going to feel so deeply in your bones. What happens when you finally feel grounded, when you think you're in the right path, and all of a sudden life gives you an upheaval, right? And there's this thing that happens, and maybe it went from peaceful to chaotic, or your life just gets completely crushed to the ground. That is what we're talking to Suki about today. And I am really excited to have this conversation because Suki found herself in a space recently when, after more than a decade with a company, everything shifted. And so then what followed was this space of uncertainty, of discomfort. But honestly, I can say that watching her, she ended up in this powerful new path, and I'm really excited to have her share that with you. So Suki is here to share her journey from the chaos of things crumbling to, finding some clarity by listening to her intuition and her gut, even in those moments when it's hard, and then stepping into confidence in her new place and her new role in this new space in midlife. So I'd love for you guys to just listen in, join this conversation. And Suki, thank you so much for being here today. Please introduce yourself and share a little bit about you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be on this. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Mhm.
Okay, a little bit about myself. So goodness, I have been a military spouse for 20 years, and my husband got out of the service about 3 years ago.
Hmm.
And so we have two kids who are now teenagers, and we now have a stable place and we're never moving. Well, I don't want to say we're never moving again because never, you can never say never.
Never say never.
Right. But for right now, we don't have like upheaval our world in 5 years and move again.
Yeah.
So really my whole life has been chaos, honestly.
Hmm.
Be moving all the time and all that stuff. And I can talk about that as we go through today. But yeah, so that's me. And I just turned 40 last year and it'll be 40 coming up to my 41st birthday. So yeah, just navigating a whole different time in my life. So yeah, that's
Hmm. Well, okay. So we want to get into the juicy bits because I know that, there's so many women out there that maybe haven't gone through exactly what you've gone through, but have gone through that like feeling of things crumbling out from underneath them. And so I want you, if you can you take us back to, the moment when everything changed and, you're like in this space of, oh my God, what is happening in your life?
yeah. So I'm gonna bring you back a little bit further than that when everything was like good. And
Yeah.
then when it all went crumbling down.
Yeah, for sure.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Um, so last year, I was working at a job that I absolutely hated and working out of the house. Found that time to be super stressful. Just, I'd never worked outside of the home. From the businesses that I've had over the years, I've always been able to work from home.
Hmm.
And last year brought me a little bit of extra challenges. So I had to step out of the house and work outside of the house, which was fine until it wasn't. And I just really was not happy at this job. And then I had a really huge blessing in my business that like you mentioned, I was with a network marketing business for 10 years
Hmm.
and have always just kind of ebbed and flowed and did different things while I worked that business. And last year I was blessed with the opportunity to quit again because things kind of shifted in my business and I was able to be home again. So I
Mhm.
took that job and was feeling so good. I had stability in my business. I was making a steady income and I knew like our family was good.
Yeah.
And so that kind of happened in October. And then come January, I had flown out to Mexico to be with our corporate team and some of the upper level leaders. We came together for a meeting, which we do every January. They
Mhm.
fly us to Mexico, which is great. We get to hear about what's coming, and we were super excited. Like we kind of knew things were not great, but we saw that the ship was turning into a better direction. So we all left Mexico feeling like super
Mm.
confident, like, okay, we got this. And
Yeah.
then 3 weeks later, on a Friday afternoon, I was driving my son to the library to go pick up a book. And I get a phone call from a friend, and she's like, Suki, what are you doing? And I'm like, driving. She's like, pull over right now.
Oh no.
I'm like, okay. So
Oh
I pull
no.
over the parking lot,
Yeah.
and she's like, I won't say the name of the company. If you know me, you know who it is. If you don't, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's like, the company is done.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's like, nope, she just heard from corporate team. It kind of came down the pipeline that the company was closed. And she's like, go home right now, get your reports in order and let your team know. So I
Mhm.
got around as fast as I could, came home,
Yeah.
uploaded all the things, and before I could even let my leaders know, the website was done. Everything was shut down. And it was that quickly. My
Wow.
whole world flipped right upside down.
Yeah.
And so it was like the end of January, and usually we get paid like our monthly bonus the following month, like at the beginning of the month.
Mhm.
I knew I wasn't getting that paycheck.
Oh man.
The
Yeah.
money that we literally relied on
Mhm.
was taken from me
Mhm.
in a second. So, yeah, so literally went from feeling calm and like sure of our future and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
to now what?
Yeah. Yeah. So you're on this like emotional roller coaster that you weren't even knowing you were signing up to ride on. It's not even like you had that preparation, and it's funny. It's not funny, haha, but like funny, weird that so many women that I talk to in their midlife journey, that's kind of how they feel too, like completely blindsided out of nowhere. Maybe, like for me, it was how perimenopause hit me. I felt like I was blindsided out of nowhere, but I know of other women, same thing. They're in the career path of their dreams, and then all of a sudden they get the pink slip or whatever that I don't never worked in an office. So I don't know what the slip is called, but like you get your walking papers, right? So um speak can you speak to like how that felt emotionally, after building something for so many years? I know you worked so hard in your business, and so then here you are, you're 10 plus years in this business, in this company. The rug has been pulled out from underneath you. um I know it's devastating, but like, how do you feel? How do you even move on from there? What was kind of the mind frame and the process there?
It was two things simultaneously happening at once. Number one, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do now? And then I was pissed off,
Yes.
right? How dare they didn't tell us? Like, they knew that this was going to happen. They
Right.
had to be known in January. You don't
Mm-hmm.
just their bankruptcy 3 weeks. Like, you just don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was pissed off. I was sad. I was actually so sad because I'd built this for 10 years
Mm-hmm.
and it was my pride and joy. I mean, you've seen me over the last few
Mm-hmm.
years. I put so much heart and passion into it. I loved my team. I loved what I did.
Yeah.
I loved being in the kitchen. My kids grew up with this company, and that's all they knew.
Yeah.
And so it was really, really devastating. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I'm like, well, I can't live here. I can't live here because I have to figure out how I'm going to put food
Mm-hmm.
on the table next month, like, because I'm
Yeah.
not any money.
Yeah.
And so I, funny enough, had been the company that I'm currently with, I looked at them about 6 months ago because I had this gut feeling,
Mm,
like,
yep. Yep.
know,
Yeah.
something is amiss. And like when you've been with a company and you've been surrounded by certain people for 10 years and all of a sudden like things start to change,
Mm-hmm.
something's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I always had like a plan B in the back of my mind. And I looked at this current company that I'm with now, because I really liked what they had. It kind of felt in alignment more with kind of the path that I was going into was more health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who worked at this current company that used to work for my other company. So
Mm,
oh, okay, like there's some familiarity there.
yeah.
It feels like an alignment and all the things. So I kind of didn't miss a beat. And within 24 hours of my company closing, I had signed on to this new company because
Mm,
I'm like, I got to do something. I got
yeah.
to do something. And this just feels right. I kind of wanted to join 6 months prior, but I really couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I did. I felt the feelings
Yes.
and then still jumped into something else. Well, which was a really funny place because I was excited but sad.
Yeah.
Excited, sad. Like for a long time, I was going
Yeah.
back between all of the emotions.
Yeah, and I think that's important to talk about, like how things can be both, right? You can be super excited for something at the same time as mourning something else, right? I know sometimes we get caught up in the idea that, oh, well, this is bad happening to me, so I'm just going to be super sad all the time. But I love that you like I know you well enough to like know, like as soon as I found out, I was like, well, she'll be down for maybe 24 hours. Like I just knew that you were like, it was just gonna be, I was like, I think I messaged you and I was like, so what's next or something? Because I just knew that you were gonna be jumping into something even bigger and better because I know how, ambitious you are. You're an entrepreneur at heart. So but I would love to talk about that turning point. I love how you kind of framed it and that moment where, things are starting to shift and you're like, okay, I can be sad, but I also need to celebrate this because I think so many of us can get stuck in that I need to be sad, right? So for you, was there something specifically that you leaned on or was it just like sheer grit and determination that you're like you're not keeping me down? What was that moment for you? Like how do you feel you were able to manage through that?
I don't know any other way.
Mm. Yeah, okay. I figure
Like
I'm like it was just the answer to that question just gets to be because that's who I am. Like
and honestly, I think it is really attributed to the fact that I was a military spouse for 20 years.
yeah.
And literally things can change on a dime
Hmm.
and your life gets uprooted very quickly. Or like my husband got called out. I can give a perfect example. We had our son when he was born. About 6 weeks later, there was the horrible earthquakes that happened in Haiti.
Right. Okay.
And he was called out to that. And I had a newborn at home.
Right.
And he thought, like, he didn't take parental leave because he's like, well, I'm home every day. And then you just
Yeah.
need me in the evening, right? I can manage during the day.
Yeah.
But no, he had to leave and go to Haiti. And so, and I just had to adjust. And I've had to
Hmm.
adjust my entire life.
Yeah.
So for me, this felt like normal.
Okay. So for for those of us that don't have the chaos of that normal, is there something that you would like I know you had to talk a lot of your team members through this. So I'm sure not every single one of your team members was as resilient as you. So as, maybe there's a listener that's on here today and, she's in this space where things are crumbling. Um she wants that new opportunity. Maybe there's fear, maybe there's, unsure. What would you say to her if you were sitting down with her and having a conversation at that moment?
I would say two things. I would say, number one, see, this may sound easier said than done, but try not to get stuck in the spiraling downwards, because
Mm,
it's so easy to do that.
yeah.
But in the same time, listen to your guts.
Mm-hmm.
That has been the biggest thing through this, is that as much as I didn't give myself time to really jump from one to the other, I was really given no choice.
Yeah.
Still, my gut was like, oh, you know where you have to go.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was not even, I didn't even miss a beat. I didn't even question it, because in my gut, it was like, okay, now you're going over here. You were already
Yeah.
looking here, where you're going.
Yeah.
So, and through the whole thing, like over the course of the last 6 months, as I've still been mourning this, like, don't
Mm-hmm.
get me wrong, I show up every day on social. I love what I do right now.
Yeah.
And and funny enough, the company that closed is reopening under the same CEO that shut it down and didn't pay anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's still a lot of stuff coming up, right? I have people
Yeah.
who are still joining, who want to rejoin the company,
Yeah.
and some are really still pissed off. And so it's still around me.
Yeah.
And just, you have to like quiet the noise and just trust yourself that you are doing the right thing, no matter what that is, right? If
Yeah.
you're going into a new job, um or whatever life circumstances bring your way, or coming your way, you have to just, yeah, trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
We call that,
our body. Mhm.
yeah, we call that following the golden thread, right? There's always those little things that are next that you already know that you're supposed to go to, or you have that tug from that golden thread towards. And so yeah, I love that. Yeah, you can, and when we get stuck in the downward spiral, right? It's so difficult. But if you're aware, you become aware of it and you're like, okay, it's not like you're not giving yourself the time and space to mourn and to grieve, but you're gonna sometimes you just be like, okay, I got 5 minutes to be super sad about this, and then that's it. I got to move on because I got awesome things to do, right? You can't stay stuck there all day. You just feel like crap by the end of the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on mindset, and
Mm,
that is the one thing that comes up the most, is you can be in that moment, but don't give yourself more than 5 minutes.
yeah. Yeah.
Literally set a timer,
Yeah.
feel all the things, think all the thoughts,
Yeah.
go into that place, and
Yeah.
after 5 minutes, okay, let's wrap it back up and like think of all the positives, because it truly helps, like, or it truly makes a difference. Your
Mhm.
mind will follow you wherever you tell it to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's so powerful, right? So, okay. So let's dig into the new awesomeness. Now you have this new company. You're stepping into this amazing space. Can honestly say that I've seen your confidence grow exponentially, right? So you have this amazing backing of this company, of the new people that you're partnered with, or like the people from your old company that came with you, and you're in this amazing space. And how does that affect you? Like, I see you showing up different, but how do you feel when you follow that golden thread, you get into this space where you're supposed to be? What is that doing for you? How are you feeling in that?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you, because like, you're always your worst critic, and like
Yep.
a few people have said to me like exactly what you said, and I'm like, I don't see that about myself, but
Mm,
I'm starting to own it now, right? Now that I've been here for 6 months, and I've like really just embodied everything that I know inside my heart is who I am,
hmm.
and it's just starting to come out. And so I would say, okay, what was your question again? Because now I'm like my place.
So
Sorry. Moment.
ADHD moments. So what I was saying was, now that you're stepping into that confidence, how are you feeling about it? Is it difficult to step into that confidence? Are you feeling like, yes, let's go. I stepped into moment and this is great. Like, I know we're human, right? So we can battle back and forth, but how are you doing with it?
So, okay, how am I doing this? It's such an interesting question because I feel like it's so different over in this company that
Mm,
it's it's like everybody is leveled up in a way that I've never seen
mm,
in in my other company like this.
okay.
Truthfully, there was a lot of negativity in the other company where people we gave ourselves an excuse to play small.
Uh, and that,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, I can see that. You know what? I can see that. You don't have that excuse anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So when something didn't go right, we literally could go to the CEO and be like, "This isn't working. Can you change it? Can you set the bar lower for us, please? Because this isn't
Uh,
working
mm,
good."
okay.
So you could continue to just not level up
And
because,
status quo, right? Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ultimately, that's why the company fails. Like, just, you know,
When you're stuck in status quo, you're stuck in status quo, right? So,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's the difference between the previous company and this company is they have set the bar way up here.
Mm,
And you either rise or you don't.
hmm.
And but we have all the tools and resources to help you get there.
Ah,
And
yes.
I work with a whole bunch of women that I don't even know. I've never met them before.
Mm-hmm.
Of them I haven't met a lot. And then my mentor that I came over to this company with, I knew her in my previous company. I was not like under her or anything. We worked like side by side.
Okay.
He is such a good mentor. And so that makes a huge difference too. And she's like pulling the best out of me.
Mm,
And so are the other women. So it's like, okay, if I have something and I have a question about something I want to try,
hmm.
go to them and say, "Hey, this is what I want to try. What do you think?" And they just help me refine it and make it better.
Mm,
And we can go to each other for ideas and support.
hmm.
And it's amazing. It's just the culture of the ladies is amazing. We want to lift the company up. And that's the ultimate goal is, what's the saying all oh my God, I'm the worst at saying.
When we all rise together, that one?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I butcher every saying out there. My husband laughs at me because he's like, "That's not right."
That's not the words.
Say, but that's not right.
And I love that. Because I think when we get to the midlife kind of crisis or chaos, right? I think we all kind of experience it in some way, whether it's, our kids are leaving and now, or they're more independent and we don't know what to do with ourselves, or like we said, the career, the job. There's so many things that kind of happen in this little span, whether, our hormones, our bodies, there's so many things that are changing. And if we feel alone or if we feel like, just stay here, like even not even just relating to our company, but like our own physical beings or our relationships or our communication with others, if we're just going to stay within the status quo, we never grow or expand or really step into how amazing we are as women. And so I love what you said there about how when you're collaborating, you're in this space, you feel like, they're pulling you to be better. They're saying, "Hey, let's come up to this level. Let's do this together." And it's so important as in this midlife to find community of women that are willing to do that, right? That are willing to say, "This isn't a competition. You can look better than me today because I'm going to look better than you tomorrow." You know what I mean? But like, it's not competition. And I love that you're just in that space where you're being lifted up. And it's such a important thing to have like community around you. And if there's women listening right now and they're thinking, but I don't know if I can do this, right? I don't know if I can do anything, a step outside the box. Like you've done so many different things to try and make the best for yourself. So, is there something that you would say to that woman that's like, I don't think I can do anything outside the box of where I am right now? What would you say to her?
I would say do it anyways and do it
Mm,
scared. Do it even if you're not sure. Like when I came over to this company, I told even my upline, I was like, how am I going to have people buy this product for me? The price point is very different.
Mm-hmm.
I went from $10 spices to like $100 gut drinks and like
Yeah.
skincare and devices.
Mm-hmm.
And like the ones who want to will, and who of the ones who don't won't.
Yeah.
And you just have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Um, and so the advice I would give you, not everybody who's watching is in a business like myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say try it and do it anyways because it sets your soul on fire. Really
Yes.
does. Like I've done so many things that make me uncomfortable over the last 6. And Victoria knows I've talked to her offline about I've done like 3 different things. I thought, oh, maybe I'll go back into my, field of study, which
Yeah.
was social. Maybe I'll do that. And I did it for 2 weeks. I'm like, no, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't applied for some jobs and I didn't get any of the jobs, which I was like, okay, maybe the universe is telling me that I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing another work from home thing. And Victoria doesn't know this, but today I was like, do I really want to do that anymore?
I'm not surprised.
And it's only been 2 months. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm a little all over the place, and I feel like that's part of perimenopause. I've been hearing a lot
Yes.
that they're really feeling like unsettled.
Yeah.
And that kind of like, I feel very settled in what I'm doing with my business, but
Mm-hmm.
other my life feel very unsettled. And I don't know why that is, but I'm just trying to trust the process and go with it. But if I feel called to do something,
Mm-hmm.
trust myself more and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And when the right thing for me is in front of me, I'll know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a weird place for me to be to trust because I really resisted trusting for a while because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is this my ADHD or is
Yeah.
this like
Yes.
something higher than me telling me this is what I need to do?
Yeah.
So I'm just leaning into trust right now.
I think trust is a really big thing for so many. Like I think I have this conversation about trust every single day right now because it is such a huge thing, right? And um, like when life is shifting, and honestly, I can say that from the research that I've done, my nerd brain, the hormones as they change in our midlife, they actually cause us to feel unsettled. So we lose that feeling of like if especially if we're in a space of whether we're mothers or we're nurturers, it doesn't matter if we have our own kids or we're just the type of person that's been used to nurturing for so long and caring for so long. As these hormones start to decrease and change, it actually takes away our mothery, nurturing instinct. So we get this feeling of being unsettled because we don't understand, what I'm just so used to that always being the way. And our brains can't really compute what's going on. So there's actual science behind that. It's really crazy. It's really interesting, but not to say that we're not like birds. We don't throw our kids out and be like, bye, don't talk to me anymore. But there's this shift that happens where we really do start to be unsettled because we are no longer so connected to our people pleasing and our nurturing and right. So that whole idea of like, the fuck it 40s, it's actually a thing from what I'm learning hormonally that happens. We build more fuck buckets. I don't know. Like we just like we're not doing it no more. So it's really interesting. That's actually a thing. So yeah.
That's so interesting you said that because now that I'm 40, my kids, I have a 16-year-old son, almost 16-year-old son, and a 13-year-old daughter.
Hmm.
And my husband has come into that nurturing role more, I think because he's like around more. And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Stop doing so much for these kids. Like they need to do it for themselves." And
Yeah.
I'm mean. I feel like I'm so mean, but at the same time, I do feel like it's time for my kids to like spread their wings a little
Yeah.
and learn how to fly or fall and
Yes.
do work for themselves because my husband does way too much for them. Um,
I
I
love
mean, it's
that.
great.
Yeah.
It's great, but at the same time, I'm like, stop
Yes.
enabling.
It's all due to our biology. It really is because if you think about it, we weren't designed to nurture our children our whole lives, right? That's why our hormones change. So there's whole science behind it. There's a whole like interesting development of the human and why we do what we do. But that's another episode, another time, the nerdy stuff. So before we go, I want to say, if there's a woman that's listening right now, maybe, she's just had that rug pulled out from under her. She's standing on the unknown, on the scary. She's standing kind of where you were 6 months ago. What do you tell her in that moment? We kind of touched on this already, but like, what do you tell her in that moment? And give her a glimpse of, okay, I followed my little golden nugget, and this is where I am now. So you should do it too.
I would say take a deep breath and just like let the chaos swirl around you and write down what is coming up. And so that's one way to kind of help clear the chaos. Write it down and trust yourself. Yourself, because we're women and we are powerful beings and we know what's right. I mean, we have been following our instincts since the day our children, if you have children, even if you don't have children, but as a mother, the day those landed in our arms, we knew what to do.
Yeah.
And we still know what to do. So trust that little voice inside you, because it won't steer you wrong.
I love that. Thank you. So people want to connect with you, Suki. Where's the best place to connect with you and to hear more of your story and to follow along with you?
Yeah, you can join me on Instagram. I'm there pretty active every day in my stories, and I do fun, ridiculous reels. And
yeah, she does.
I don't know all the one I just did yesterday. My kids made fun of me for it, but I'm like, you know what? That's having fun. You can follow me at Suki Okorofsky, and stay there to find out what's going on next.
Awesome. I will make sure that your information is in the show notes and the way that everyone can connect with you. So I just want to say thank you again so much for being here. I really think that by, sharing your honesty, your vulnerability today, there's going to be some women that are listening to this that are going to finally take that little step forward and follow their golden thread. And I know your story is, such a powerful reminder for us as women that there are forces beyond what we can see that are going to shift in our life. And it's not being prepared or being ready all the time, but just knowing that you are a resilient being and that you can do the hard things, right? So to everyone listening, if this episode landed with you, please make sure to go onto Instagram, find Suki, send her a message, let her know that you loved this story, this chat, share it into your stories, and let's get more women the support they need to start to shift in their midlife, make those tough choices, and step into what's next, because so many times what's next is even bigger than beautiful and more beautiful than you can ever possibly imagine. So thank you, Suki, so much for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining the conversation here with us again today. If something in this episode hit home, I want you to share it with a friend or leave a quick review. That's how we can reach more women who need to hear these conversations. And if you haven't yet, come join the book club. It is free. You don't have to go through midlife alone, I promise. You can find everything you need at www.chaosclarityandconfidence.com. So take care of you, and I will see you next time.